Good morning, my dear students. So now, I hope you completed the insert and create table statements, right? And I welcome you back to the Python class. And this is what I suppose going to be, let's say it's going to be a nice session where we are going to run more crude operations, right? So insert into the table values is done, right? And now we'll learn a few more things regarding update and getting data from the database and whatnot. So without wasting much of your time, let's get quickly started. And this is now my database. I've inserted many different values right here. So I'll be sharing this file as promised, right? So it's not the file that has to be shared with you guys. The file is okay. Where is that file? The file is somewhere else. Right, okay, this is the file. So I'll be sharing this with you guys, right? And now create, right? So I'll write create. After create, we have retrieve, select command. Now, what do you mean by select command, right? Select command is retrieving data from the database. Now, if I go to SQL, I will say select asterisk. Asterisk means star from, right? I can say select asterisk from the database name, the table name. So I'll say users, right? So asterisk means, right? What do you mean by this? Select asterisk from the database. Select all from the table name. Select all from table name, right? So if I run this, select star from users, right? So you can clearly see select star from users. I'll say go, and you get everything that the table users has, right? And if you want to get a particular thing, right? In order to get a particular thing, right? You can say select name, or you can say select f name. I want to select only f name, so I'll keep it within single quotes. Select f name from users, right? So now you can fire this. Select f name from users indicates, right? Select only f name from the table, right? So it's only f name from the table. So let's run it. And instead of getting all, asterisk means getting all. Now you only got f name from the, select f name from users, right? So that's what you are getting, okay, not in single quotes, but in magical quotes, right? So just keep it magical quotes. Select f name from user. What is magical quotes? Just ahead of and before one, the key one, right? Before key one, you'll find this magic quote here, the tilt sign, right? So you can just type magic quotes. Select f name from users. Now you are getting it. For Fahim, Naveed, Zahid and Shahid are registered. You're only getting f name from your database. Now what you can do, you can say first name, comma, I also want to get within magic quotes L name. Select f name and L name from users. You can multiply it, right? You can say select f name and L name from users. So this is also possible, wherein you will be getting the first name and you are getting last name. Fahim Khan, Naveed, Bhatt, Shahid Khan, Zahid, Vani, as simple as anything. But yeah, if you want to now query, so Q-U-E-R-Y, and you want to use where clause, right? If you want to use where clause, right? Now you can clearly see that I can even run the word clause. I can say select f name, L name, or I can even say select asterisk, select everything from users. But wait a second, I don't want you to select randomly everything possible under you, right? No, I don't want you to select everything that's possible under you. I say select asterisk from users where, right, where user name is equivalent to single quotes. Now, okay, let me just type it here, right? Select asterisk, select everything from table users. You can keep it in magic quotes, users, where username is equivalent to, what do you want? Where username is equivalent to Fahim Khan. Now you can select this from the database, right? And see what happens. Okay, let's see what happens. Now, where username is equal to Fahim Khan, that means you're getting everything from the table where username is Fahim Khan. That's why we had to stop duplicacy, right? And this is the reason we stopped duplicacy, right? Because we do not want to have duplicacy. Only the matter of fact that we do not want to have duplicacy is that if I run select star from users where username is equal to Fahim Khan, and what if there are two Fahim Khans, right, as a username? So it's going to truncate the database operations. It's going to give us some whiplashes. So we don't want to do that. We have to maintain the database redundancy, right? All right, so that is done. Now what else can we do? I can say select only. Can you please tell me the F name of, right? Select F name, right? Or we can here say select Fahim, which is basically what? F name. Select F name from magic quotes again. Select F name from users where, right? I can even say you need not to type capital here, or else if you want you can type full capital, so it doesn't matter. It's not case sensitive. Select F name from users where I can say in magic quotes ID is equal to 1. Who is ID? I want the first name of the user whose ID is 1. So I can straightforward go here and I can say I need to get the first name, right, of the user whose ID is 1. Select F name from users where ID is equivalent to 1. So what are we getting? It's not ID, it's user ID, right? So where user ID is equal to 1. You can say Fahim. Again, you're getting Fahim where user ID is equal to 1. You're again getting Fahim. Let's see again. 4 is Zahid, so I can try this as well. Select F name from users where user ID is equal to 5. This is the query that we use for username and password. Right, so you are not getting anything here. 5 is not, I suppose, there. 4 is there, so I'll try and get 4. Where user ID is equal to 4, so I can straightforward go and have 4. Right, so the F name selected is Zahid. Now, when you type username and password, whenever you want to log into some website or log into some software or you want to log into some Android app, right? The query that is used there is the following. So this is the login query. So login query is select, right? So you can say select ID from, right? So you can say select ID from users WHERE where, see, magic quotes username is equivalent to, for example, FAHIM, and you have to match the username and password, and password is equivalent to password, PASSWORD. This is how you run it, right? So this is all that we run for login, right? Why and? Because we are using and here because we don't have to compare the username only. We have to make sure that both should match. Right? If the username is Fahim Khan, that doesn't mean it's matched. If the username is Fahim Khan, go and check and. I'm using and. Password should also be password, right? So if it matches, so now let's see what are we getting. Okay, selects ID. It's not there. It's user ID. I keep on doing this mistake. ID is not there. It's user ID. Now you can say we are getting 1. Now can you see this? 1, right, showing row 0 to 0, 1 row has been returned. Clearly you can see that 1 row has been returned. What do you mean by 1 row has been returned? That means if username and password matches, we are returning 1 rows in total. Let's say if username and password does not match, if I write some wrong username or some wrong password, so we are returning 0 rows. So that is what we do as developers to check if the query returns 0 rows, we will say, hey, username and password entered is incorrect. I repeat, username and password entered by you is incorrect. And if it returns 1 rows, I will say that the username and password that you have entered is absolutely correct. Correct? Right. So this is how we use select statements to get data from the database. And in case, for example, if I say select star from users, but I will say right order. So I can say order by, right? I will use order by user ID. Order by means sorting, right? DESC, descending, right? So this is sort. Now how do you sort? This is how you sort. So I'll say go. Now you can see you're getting it in a descending order. 4 is coming, and then 3 is coming, then 2 is coming, then 1 is coming. This is how we can sort in descending order. DSC for descending, ASC for ascending order. Now by default it's ascending order, 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? And you can say ASC, that is descending order, and this is sort by ascending order. So this is what we can do. We can do many different things. SQL, if I teach you everything about SQL, it's itself 2 months course. So I can say now select star from users. I will limit, I don't want to get all, limit from 1 to 2. I want to get only first 2 rows. Now you can see that you're getting only first 2 rows, right? Or you can say select limit from 0 to 2. Now you are getting 1, 2, 0 to 2. You're limiting from 0. That means now after 0 we have 1 and then we have 2. So that's why I said limit 0 to 2. Or you can say limit from 0 to 5, and now you will be getting 5 rows at all. But there are only 4, right? So for example, a database table has records, and those records can be tons and tons and millions of records. How are you going to cope up with all those records, right? You need to understand that at times I may have to get only 5 records, I may have to get only 2 records. So you need to know how can we fetch those records, right? So I can say limit. So this is how we limit select star from users, and I say limit 0 to, let's say about 3. So only 3 records will be shown, other than you can understand it, right? Okay, you can do it by email ID. I can say select star from users where email is equivalent to, right, fahim@gmail.com. Now if it is there, right, now you can clearly see it is already there. So I have got, wherever it matches the query, I am getting the details of the, right? So you go to the, for example, you go to Exchange and you submit your bill. They ask you your mobile number. You provide them the mobile number and they provide details. How is that possible? By querying, right? They're querying, right? Select star from database where contact number is equal to this. I can even query the data on the basis of contact. So I can say where con contact, right? I can say where contact is equivalent to this contact number, right? And it is basically varchar. I'll have to give it within strings or within quotes. Now you can clearly see this is how we query database, right? And now you can see right here that we have this disturbed here, that Fahim Khan has a wrong date. Now how do you change it without dropping the table, right? For example, if I make some mistake, I have to edit and update that mistake, right? How do you update your mistake, right? So updation will happen like update table, right? How do you update table? So I'll run it here. I can say update and the name of the table, that is users, and I can say set, right? And what do you want to set? I want to set date is equivalent to, right? And I want to set date is equivalent to 2026, so I can say 2020-0601, right? But where you are, I have to edit only one column. If I run this, it's going to update all the columns. So I don't want to update all the columns. You can clearly see 0000000. It's coming 00 for year, 00 for month, and 00 for date. It's coming just for Fahim, right? I can use the where column right here because I cannot update all. I have to update only one column, which is this Fahim, right? Otherwise, date is okay here, date is okay here, date is okay here. I have to update only this row, right? One row. So I'll go ahead and say update user set date this where, because I have to update only one row. So I'll open magic code. So I'll say where username is equal to Fahim, or you can say where ID is equal to 1, where phone number, where clause may you can try and give anything that is unique. Username is unique, so right, where username is equal to Fahim, KHAN, right? So you can say KHAN. So it will impact only one row. Now you can see update table. Table has been done, one row affected. Now you can clearly see one row has been affected. And I go and you can see Fahim has been corrected. Date of Fahim has been corrected, right? And if I want to change my username or if I want to change my password, so I can change password. This is how you change password, right? So you can say set PASSWORD, set password is equivalent to my new password where username is equal to Fahim, right? So I can do this as well. Now you can see that the password has been changed. One row is affected. I'll go ahead and say the password is completely changed. Now the password is my new password. So this is how easy and how wonderful this all concept of database programming is. So it's not any rocket science, or it does not involve any rocket science. What you need to do is understand we are inserting data. What if I insert bad data? Edit it. What if I forgot to add a unique key? Alter the table. What if I have to drop the table, delete the table, drop table? What if I have to delete everything in a table? Truncate table, right? So this is how we deal with databases, right? So crude operations I have shown you how to create, how to retrieve, how to delete and whatnot. And it's still not sufficient, right? So these things are not still sufficient, right? So we have many different things, right? Once we create, because as I said, the database programming is going to be a long journey, but that's not what I intend doing and teaching you guys, right? Because we still have to stick to Python, right? So that we can understand. Because there are many different things like stored procedures are there, right? That we understand and that we use, right? So, but yeah, unless you basically become familiar, right? So there are things that you are going to learn, right? And it has a purpose, right? It has a purpose, right? What is the purpose? That we are sending data from the database, isn't it? Right? Yes, exactly. And we are retrieving data from the database where? From Python, from web, from data analytics point of view, or from different point of views, right? But yeah, if it's not database, it's not a software. No software is possible without database, right? And now you can even drop the entire database. So now how do you drop database? I'll just show you here, right? I've shown you everything. So you can create database by saying create data base, and you can say database name. So whatever the name of the database is, or you can say drop database name. You can even drop the database, right? And for example, okay, select database is there, create is there, and we have select query now, right? So let's focus on the select query, maybe, who knows, right? Yeah, we have already seen select field name, and we have seen the where clause, right? And what else can we see in select? What else can be the select command? So releasing the memory can be the select command. Yes, that can also happen. Primary key we have already seen, right? Where clause we have already seen, right? Okay, and or we have to see or. For example, now I have to log in. I'll give you a condition here, right? So I'll give you a condition, and the condition is I need to log in either with email or with user name and password, right? What would be the query for that? What if you need to log in either with email or username? For example, we have seen this. I'll write it down again here. What is the login query? Select, I can say select ID, or you can say even count, right? You can even say count. Now, how do you select count? Right? Or I can even show you first there. So I can say select, right? So you can say current. I want to get the current date. You can get the current date by this, and it returns the current date, right? So I'll just type it down here, right? So I can say select current date, right, beta? So it returns, right, the current date, all right? So we have second thing, that is select current date underscore, or we can say select current underscore timestamp. If I say current underscore timestamp, it's going to return date and time. So I can say it's going to returns the current date, right, underscore time. Is that anything else? Right. Okay, I just forgot it at the beginning, so now since I recalled it, all right, so now I'll go to the question. I need to log in either with the username or with the email. So I'll say select ID, or as we can say select count. So if I say select count of ID, or we can even say user ID from users. So now what do I get? What is the count? You can clearly see count is 4, right? That means there are total 4 rows which have been entered, or 4 records that are being entered. I'll use the same query here. So I'll say, right, in select command, I'll just keep it here. Select count. So this is going to return the total count of rows, right, in a table, right? So now I can say select count of user ID from users, but I'll say where, right? I'll say where within magic quotes, where user name is equal to, let's say let's target someone else, right? Now, so I'll say where username is equivalent to Shahid Khan, and password is, what is the password? Password is password. So I'll say where username is equivalent to Shahid Khan, and P-A-S-S-W-R-D, password is P-A-S-S-W-R-D, or it's basically all the database attributes, right? All the database attributes will come within magic quotes, and the value supplied to the varchar values will come inside single quotes, and integer value supplied will not come within any quotes at all. All right, and now if I just run it, it's going to return to me the count, right? So it's going to return 1. What did it return? You can see the count is 1. It has returned the 1 count. Now what if the username and password is invalid, right? So I'll write something else. Count will be 0, right? So now this is how we can even get whether the username and password is genuine or not. If the count is 1, username and password matches. If the count is 0, username and password does not match, right? As simple as anything. But yeah, what we can do here, I want to even check for email, right? I can say or, I can add or here, where username is equal to this, right, and password is equal to this, or I can say or, right, I can say username. Instead of username, I can say email is equal to fahim.k, or we can say fahim@gmail.com. So this is where we are running or. Now, or will just match both of them. You are getting one. Let's say about if I write some wrong username, right, and I write this, still I'm getting 0. I'll have to see what is the email ID of Shahid first. It's shahid@gmail.com, right? So I'll say or Shahid, SHAHID @gmail.com. Now you're getting count 1, right? So now it is going to match, either the condition for the match is going to be this username is this and password is, or email is this and password is this. Both the ways, if I just provide a wrong username, right, and this is going to check both of them. Or for example, I'll show you how OR works. So I'll say select star from users, where we can say where username is equivalent to FAHIMKHAN, right? Now you can see this. And means both the conditions should be true, but we are getting it, right? And or means, let's say if Fahim is not, I'll just say where username is equal to Khan. It does not exist at all. I'll say if it does not match. Or you can say user, or let's say about or username is equal to Fahim, FAHIMKHAN. So both the conditions should not be true. Even if one condition is true, you are going to get data. Now you can see you're getting data even if one condition is true. Right? If I replace this and, it's going to be both the conditions has to be true. Right? So if I just say Shahid, SHAHID instead of Fahim Khan, you can clearly see that we are getting both now. Right? So or is that mean, or means either this has to be true or this has to be true. Right? And means both have to be true. Right? So we have already seen and. We've already seen and here, where username is equal to Fahim Khan, right? And we have already seen and in the login query that username should match and password should. That means both should match. If I keep it or, even if someone types right username and wrong password, it's still logged in. That's why I say and, right? Or is going to or is going to make sure that even if one statement is correct, right, it's going to execute it, right? Alright, so I hope you have understood it completely today. Alright, and let me just keep the OR statement also here. Right, so this is OR. So we can say OR, STATEMENT, OR statement. So this is your OR statement. So you can run this OR statement as well, right? And you can start fetching data right from the word go, right? For example, now if you are inserting data here, you want to insert the current date and time. All right, so what did I say here? Insert into user values, and I'm supplying the manual time here. Let's call this insert query. I'll just type it here, insert with the current date. Now, how do you insert it with the current date? I will say, instead of providing the manual date right here, without quotes, I will write the command of SQL. So I'll say current date. It's automatically going to update the current date now, right? So I'll just keep it here, right? Now, instead of writing the date, I'll say current date. It's going to automatically update as per the current date. Let's say I am going to register Majid Khan. I can say MAJIDKHAN. And password is Majid password, and email is majid@gmail.com, and phone number is this, right? So let's copy this and run it. Now if I go to browse, or instead of going to browse, I can say select star from users. You will get the same asterisk, means select everything from users. And you clearly see right here the date has been automatically updated, right? That's 12/6/2020, right? So this also can work. Is that clear? I'll just say insert with the current, okay, date, insert with current date. How many inserts have I used? Okay, insert with current date is this, right? Insert into users values. Now these are the values. Only change that we have made, we have tried and enter current underscore date. So this is also going to register you as per it, right? So let me see the timings. We already crossed 30 minutes and we have many different things to learn right after the create. Now indexes are there, update is there, right? Delete is there. For example, if I want to delete a record, right, and I want to get like, I'll show you two things, like and delete. So let's learn. So delete, delete a table record, right? And the second thing is using like and cards, using like and a wildcard. So the first thing is delete query. So I'll say delete from, right? So I'll run delete from table name, which is in the magic code. So I'll say users, delete from the table users, right? And I can say where, delete from users, where, because you have to delete a particular record. Where has to be, right? You have to tell where what, right? If I say delete from users and then what, it's going to delete everything. No, that's not going to happen. Delete takes some parameters and it uses where clause. I will say delete from users where, let's say about username is equal to friend console. So where user, or we can run something like this, where user ID is equal to 1, right? That's the first thing. I can say delete from users where I can even say user name is equivalent to FAHIM. So this is also possible and this is also. Why is this not being supplied within single quotes? Because it is integer, right? ID, we have chosen the data type of ID integer in the previous class, right? Those who have jumped in directly, I recommend them going back and testing and checking the previous video before they move to this video. Now it's say, do you want to really execute? Yes, I want to execute. Now, one row affected. I'll go to browse and you clearly see Fahim has been removed. So I'll have to insert it back. Right, where is the insert query? So I'll have to insert it back right from the beginning. I'll go copy the query and I'll run it again. And instead of this date, I will again say CU. So I'll say current date and I'll run it. Now record has been inserted, but now Fahim has gone to number 6 from number 1. Number 1 was deleted, right? And now we have this right here. All right, let's try and enter a few more records. All right, let's say FARHEE and Farheen Khan, FARHEE and Farheen, and the password is password. Email is FARHEE and Farheen, right? And the phone number is something else. And instead of the date, I will say current date, and I would like to just run this query right here. Go to browse, right? Farheen has also been added, right? And I'll go and add FAIQUE, Faik. So I can say Faik Khan is the username. Password is password. Email ID is faik@gmail.com. Right, and this is the phone number and everything else remains the same. Let me show you the like query now. Now we have almost 8 records, right? So if I say, if I have to check how many records do we have, I can say select count of anything, but here I can say select count of ID, right, without quotes, right, from you. So you want to see the count. What is the total count? It's not ID, it is user ID. I don't know why do I make this mistake. Now we have almost 7 records, but we have actually 8 serial because one record was removed. Fahim was removed initially, right? So number 1 is removed. Total we have 7 records now. From 2 to 8, if we count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Because 1 is removed, that's why it's showing 7 records exactly. Now let me show you the like query. So we have a situation wherein we do not remember the exact username of the user, and we do not remember what is exactly coming there, right? Or what exactly is the spelling. So in case if we do not remember, so I'll say select star from user. So let's go to like. So I'll say select star from user. So users will again come with magic codes. Select star from users where, right? I can type where user, or we can say, yeah, now where username, and now I'll not say is equivalent to, right? I'll say like, right? It's something like, right? So I do not know what exactly it is, right? But it is going to be like, so let me run it, where user name, right? So I'll say where username like, okay, I'll say FA, right? I just want to get it from this. FA, we have not got anything. Now we have to supply wildcards, right? What are wildcards? So just I'll show you here. You have said select star from where, like, it's like name is like FA, username is like FA. I don't remember what is the exact username. But yeah, where do you want to search from? Do you want to search from the start? Do you want to search FA as a prefix? Now you can clearly see FA is used as a prefix here. Or do you want to search FA as a suffix? No, I'll say I want to use as a prefix, right? That is right here, wildcard. That means I want to find at the start of the username, go and find FA. Not in the middle, not in the end, and the start. Now I'll say FA. Now you can clearly see we're not getting anything. I don't know. So I'll have to again see the like query. I'll just run it from both sides. I'll keep the wildcard from both sides and see what do we get. Yeah, we're getting. Let's keep wildcard from both the sides. Now it should be something like FA, right? Now you can see I have run the query and we're getting Fahim. FA uses Fahim has FA in the prefix, and FA starting right here for Farheen, and FA starting for Faik. Now I can say, will you please give me something like MAJ, and I don't remember the exact name. It's like MAJ, and now we get Majid Khan. Majid Khan is like MAJ, and this is the like query, and this exactly is the query, right? So I'll say this exactly is the query that, right, that search engines use to retrieve data from the database. So this is what search engines exactly use to retrieve data, because you do not type everything fine. So if you go to Google and you type something, right, I will say EDUCAT, educate. I have to go, I have to Google educated, but I say educated, right? Now I Google, it says, did you mean educated, right? How come? Google knows I meant educated. I type educated, right? So it has run the query where right search item like educated, right? And now it matches educated, right? That's why it says, did you mean educated? Just like I say FA, it says, did you mean Fahim? It returns Fahim. So this is the magic of the query right here, right? And what you have to now remember, tomorrow what are we going to do? At least we are going to use these queries that we have learned in the sessions. I will be sharing the description. Please download, I repeat, please download this text file, right, down in the description section. You can find the link of this download in the description section below. Open the description of the video and download it. Number one. Number two, what we have learned manually here, right, or what we have learned using the SQL MySQL DB and MySQL structured query language. We will be doing all the things right from Python, right? It will be like Python. I'll be going to Python and I'll be saying, hey, will you please enter your first name? The first name is enter. Will you please enter your last name? And everything will automatically go from Python to the database. That means we will be creating a connection between Python and database. After the connection is made between the Python and database, we'll be sending data to the database, we'll be retrieving data from the database, updating, deleting and whatnot. All the things that we have learned in couple of days, we'll be doing it practically, inshallah. And for that, I'll have to say bye to you guys till tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow with crude operations directly from Python, ideally, to MySQL server. Right, and it will be fun. Next class is going to be a real fun, and I'm very excited to at least record that session for you guys. But yeah, unless I record, you need to be completely synchronous with me. Those who are not synchronous will remain behind just like past, so I don't want to discuss about anything here. Please and please complete your lessons on time, right? See you tomorrow, and very excited, right? Bye bye, take care.